But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.
Hello everyone, welcome to CVRcade Solo Cup Racing for Zone T. It's a Tuesday night. One of the best nights of racing here. Every time Zone T is on, you know it's the best zone of the day. I'll say it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Zone T is the best, and we have a lot of good races out here today. A few that I know have raced almost every Omnium or almost every Omnium, and have had a good showing. I was up early for Zone E today and got to see the racing firsthand at 4 in the morning my time. And there's some exciting races in here. The third race is one to look out for with the power-ups you have and the abilities and the wind on course. It's a technical one, and you're going to see a lot of wrecks. But first up, we have 8 laps of Electric Rush. There is Corner Caper, Uncrashable, and Quantum Shift, all his abilities. And then you have one Comeback Kid, which gives you extra power for 45 seconds or until you pass someone or someone passes you. So there's going to be some good races. In the races tonight, we have John Pyle. I think he's new to the stream. I believe he's on Team Havoc with me, but he's in here, getting ready, warmed up for these races. I'm sure he's ready to go, excited to get started. Waving to the camera. Good luck tonight. We also have Daniel, Casey, Homer, and Luis, who are all, they're all vets here. They've all been doing it for a while. They're all getting in the zone, ready to go. We'll cycle through, see how they're all doing. I know Casey has done, I think this is his third, and Homer, this is his fourth of the day, but Homer might have done more in between. You never know with him. But there's some good racing here. We have, again, there are people that are technically teammates for the team event this Saturday, but tonight they are gladiators in an arena fighting each other. They all want the win here. They all, want to take home the prize money at the end of the day, and at the end of these 7 weeks. This is week 2, the last zone for this week for the Solo Cup, where there is $10,000 on the line. So it's every Tuesday. We have Zone E. It's in the chat there. You can see it's 4 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 7 p.m. PST for 7 weeks. And yes, Lancero Storm, good to see you back here. It is time for racing. We have about 45 seconds left to go. And again, this is the calm stream. It's getting later for some people. Might be early for some people, but get it calm, letting everyone race their race. Don't want to get them too excited. I may have to go talk to people mid-stream here, mid race here, just because I feel like that's the new standard we're going for, making sure their heart rates are getting a little high, and then talk to them. You get some real candid answers from them. That's why I was hoping Jesper would be in here, so that way I could get him up to 200 on his equalized heart rate, and then talk to him then, just so he could feel the pain. But there's about 7 seconds left here. Everyone's spinning up to go out the gate. This is one of those where everyone will get the draft from each other. You see them push off into the front here, and they'll all draft off of each other. You see everyone looking focused, but it looks like, I can't tell who's off the back here. It looks like John is off the back a little bit, but he might be able to catch up. With the smaller groups, a little easier when you have a bigger group of people. But you don't want to lose this draft here. Again, there's 8 laps of this. They'll get up to a pretty good speed, but everyone will just try to stay together here. If you get dropped off, it's very difficult to get back up. You have your Comeback Kid, but it looks like Homer is pushing off a little bit off the front. But I think that group will be able to catch back up to him, just because the draft and everything makes it quite easy to catch up. But yeah, it's a 8 laps Electric Rush. It's low skill, only a one-time multiplier here. So it's not worth as many points as the later races, but it can still be a good confidence booster to win the first race of the night. Get your legs going. You'll see everyone just kind of stick together here, and then at the end they'll really push out. You'll see some different tactics being used. With smaller groups, different tactics can be used. With the bigger groups, it's just kind of luck of the draw. But here with the smaller ones, you can play a little cat and mouse. Try to drop off the back, try to go off the front. You can do different things because of the smaller group size here. But everyone's in the mix. None of the physical riders, which everyone's physical, but none of the nobody's been dropped off the back. So everyone that's here racing is all in the mix here. And yes, Casey probably will have a strong showing tonight on Cyril Storm. He has a strong showing in every Omnium, so I don't doubt that. Luis looks calm and collected, just getting a good cadence here, just red in his race, just making sure they don't put too much power down. You see, most people are not putting too much power down. They want to save as much energy as they can while keeping the draft, because the more people you're behind, and when everyone gets caught up in the mix here and everyone's going through each other and all of that, you get a big amount of draft, so you don't have to work as hard, but you still have to work a little bit, because if you don't work at all, you get pulled. You will get pulled. They will pull away from you, and you do not want that. Daniel also looking calm, cool, and collected. Everyone, I think, with these races, everyone kind of knows what to expect, and they know the game plan, and they know what everyone is most likely going to do. So it's just a battle to the end here. And Casey did kill it in Zone K. Yeah, I believe he won that one. I don't know if he won every race, but I think he almost did, or he might have. I think there was a little controversy about letting people pass at the very end of races. So I think if I ride in Zone E next week for the Solo Cup, I'm asking everyone in that race to stop at the end and let me go by, just so I can get those points. Sunshower, thank you for the host. We appreciate that here at CVRcade. There's only a little bit left here. I think this might be the last lap here. Everyone's kind of still feeling each other out. Looks like Luis goes off the front a little bit, but everyone's kind of following here. Everyone's putting the power down. You can see Casey really putting the power down here. Daniel's up in front still, even with Casey on the draft. Luis gets dropped off a little bit, and it looks like it was Daniel, Casey, John, Homer, then Luis. But, well, Casey looks excited, so he might. No, Casey did take it. Casey takes that one. I think he's won this race 3 times in a row now. So I think he knows the secret. He knows the timing. I'm not going to give him much time to recover. I want to go talk to him and see how he feels about that. See how he's ended up winning that race so many times. If he has any secrets he wants to share, if he's trying to keep it all to himself.
I don't know about secrets. They do race different. The ones earlier today were a much bigger pack, so the sprint was longer, a little harder, and from a little further back. More of a timing game on those bigger races. This one here with the smaller pack, it becomes a power game more. So if you can just hold your sprint longer, you will generally do a little better with the odds in a smaller race like this one today. So like this zone, I felt like was a little more of my effort, not to discount the earlier ones. The earlier ones were I went hard, but I also got very lucky. Where here, I just got kind of lucky.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you? How do your legs feel? Third Omni of the day. Do you think you have it in you?
Yeah, I mean, they warmed up pretty good there, actually. So we'll see. I mean, I do this often enough that I'll be all right here, but I can't repeat the efforts from Zone K. But typically with a smaller crowd like this, you typically don't. So I think I'll still fare okay. But I sure don't want any hero attacks off the front here. And anybody's welcome to pull over at the finish line and wait for me. That's absolutely on the table.
I'm sure no one here will do that, but we'll see. I mean, you never know until the race is over. So good luck, and congrats on 3 for 3 on that race today. Next
Thanks.
up, we have 5 laps of Dark Matter Spire, medium skill event, 2-time point multiplier. And for the power-ups, there's one great responsibility, which gives you great power for 5 seconds. One inertia, which lets you keep your speed for 10 seconds. And then 2 wind at your back, which gives you a 20 kilometer per hour wind at your back for 10 seconds. So you're going to see a lot of people that get up to some high speeds and get that inertia. But if you get up to too high of a speed, we saw it earlier today with the collapse of Carl. In that earlier Omnium, it was sad to see. He wrecked quite a bit, and I think his inertia made him wreck twice on the uphill because he was going a little too fast. So there are some speeds you need to know, even if you're going uphill, because of these power-ups. So it can be difficult. But yeah, 5 laps, longer race here. So we'll probably go do some mid-race interviews while people are really feeling it and really pushing. But the leaderboard right now, we have Casey on top, followed by Daniel, then John, then Homer, then Luis. But again, it's the first race, not a huge point multiplier, so it can be anyone's race. It looks like Batista B is in there as well. I didn't see that earlier. That's on me, but also in there in 6th place, not in the stream, but racing. So hopefully, maybe they'll be in the mix here, pulling some people or having some people pull them. I know earlier in Zone E with a smaller amount of people, this race was a little bit slower. Not as much like pushing and trying to make huge power moves and really get up to speed. I think everyone was just kind of like, hey, we're gonna just try to get this race through. But then in the zones where there was a lot more people, you saw a lot of big efforts. So I don't know what to expect here. I know there's some fresh legs in here, so there may be some big efforts from those fresh legs. But let's go to Homer. I know this is his 4th Omnium of the day. I just want to see how he's feeling, if the Mountain Dew that he had during Zone E, if it's still helping him out, and just if he's ready for these races. Oh, he's still got some more Mountain Dew. Always. But how you feeling?
Yeah, I think of every one of these races like what you were just talking about, Aaron. Just I hope I can get through it.
I you say that, but we've seen you put some huge efforts in on some maps. So I know you have it in you, but I know 4 Omniums. It's good to try to just hold it. But good luck in this race. I know there's about 1 minute and 10 seconds left, so I will let you get back to warming up, cooling down, whatever you need to do to get ready for this next race. Good luck. I'm sure everyone's rooting for you. Yes. Yeah, Vanessa is behind the scenes, always working. So always here, ever present. We're very glad to have her as part of the team. And 45 seconds left until the next race starts. It'll be exciting to see 2-time point multiplier. A lot of power-ups that can be used here to get a lot of speed. And yeah, it is nice to see John and Batista racing here. I think they're both newer. I don't know if this is their first Omniums with us in the stream or like while we're streaming, but it is nice to see them in here, and I look forward to see what they can do and what kind of power they can put down, and if they can make some of these other racers pay. We have 10 seconds here. And I just got word that Batista is Sunshower. So not only did Sunshower host us, but also racing. So we got to root for them. They've been a longtime fan, longtime viewer. So it's exciting to see them. Exciting to see people get into this. Daniel goes off the front here, puts some power down, with Casey following close behind, and then a little bit further down you have John, and then Homer, and then that's all I see up on the front. Excuse me, sorry. Luis is further back, but I think he's looks like he's just taking his time. He's just gonna work through. I don't know if I know there's a lot of people that have been sick and getting sick. I don't know if he has been sick, or if there's something going on. But I know he can put down the power. I know he's a very strong racer, so maybe he's just saving it for later on, letting everyone else feel good about themselves, and then he comes in and just says, well, it's mine now. But on the front, we still have Casey, Daniel, and John, all within, just right next to each other. John's getting the draft on Casey right now, and Daniel and Casey are not getting any draft going up this hill. But Homer is a little bit back. He's pushing some power down. Speeds are about the same for everyone. So he'll have to work a little bit harder if he wants to catch back up and get into that draft. But I don't know if he, after 4 Omniums, is going to do that. But I hope he does. Luis is coming back. Luis about 10 seconds back right now. But I'm sure he can make that up. And then with the power ups, it's going to be fun to see this great responsibility used, because there are some wrecks that can't happen. And Casey puts in a little dig to move to the front here. Excuse me. I need to get a drink of water here soon, but it's all good. John and Daniel are right behind Casey, but they're a little spread out now, not getting too much of a draft. Casey's going up off the front, but John puts some power down to get into that draft again. And Daniel's right behind him, also getting a little bit of draft. He'll need to get a little closer, try to get as much draft as possible so he doesn't have to do as much work, but it's going to take a little bit of work to get up there. And his speed is letting him get up there, so he's getting in that draft. It looks like John wants to pass Casey here, and just says, no, I don't want your draft. I don't want to play any of these games. I want to go up on the front and see what I can do. You can see him pushing. And Casey right behind him says, all right, if you want to push up like that, I will take that draft. Someone coming behind Power Court is true. Lancer Storm, we may see someone plug in Homer. Maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he found a way to make Mountain Dew fuel his circuits. But he's still pushing. He's still working hard. I still, every time I see him racing 4 Omniums in a day, I'm just in awe, because I raced 1 this morning and my legs don't want to go anymore. So I think it's incredible for anyone to do 4 Omniums and to do it so consistently. Just hats off to you, Homer. Keep working. He uses his great responsibility, which gives great power, for 5 seconds. It's a short amount of time, but you get up to speed, and that's one of the problems you can have with it, is coming around corners. He goes a little too fast, because that is a very powerful power up, and he crashes in that corner a little too fast. Luis is still 10 seconds behind, but now Luis and Homer are right next to each other. So they may work together just to get back up with the group and then be closer to these points that they want to get. But since it is a solo event, they could just be, fighting each other. Luis is just like, I want to get back on my own accord, but he's still 10 seconds back. Maybe he's waiting for other people to make the mistakes and go up. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left. This is only the 2nd lap. So there's still a few more laps. I think Luis's heart rate is okay right now. It's only equalized at 177. So let's talk to him and see what's going through his mind right now. If he doesn't want to, never mind. Wait, he just used his great responsibility. I think this is going up the climb. So he's catching back up. His speed is way up. So we may wait a little bit. He's pushing quite a bit here. Looks like John uses his inertia here going up the hill, but going slower than everyone else. So that might have been a mistake. I don't know if he meant to use that. Looks like he's trying to push, but inertia won't let him. So now he finds himself a second off the back without that inertia left anymore. I don't think Luis used his inertia, but I'm not sure. But let's see. Luis, I don't know if you can hear me, but what's your thought process going into this? You got back up with the group. I don't know if you use your power-ups. You don't have to say, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, unfortunately, I dropped my chain at the beginning of the race, so I lost some time, but was able to catch back up. So we'll see if I can keep up with these guys.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Just try to stick on a wheel and hope that they make mistakes with their power-ups. But You got this. It's unfortunate, but yeah, you've caught your way back up. So good luck with the rest of it. Keep working hard. But so that was Luis dropping a chain before, right at the beginning of the race, and now he's already back up with the group. That's incredible stuff. Homer is 14 seconds off the back, which is unfortunate. He used his power up, his great responsibility, which caused him to wreck in that corner, which is sad. But I think, maybe just playing around with it, seeing if there's better places to use it. But everyone's still neck and neck here on the front. These are very, very close races. I think in the earlier ones, it was pretty close as well. I know in Zone E, though, after about 3 laps, 2 people went off the front, way, way off the front on their own. But you can see the heart rates. John is at 194 on his equalized heart rate, but he's also new, so that could change over time. But he's pushing the limits for what the game thinks he has now. So onto the 3rd lap for them. We'll see if he can keep it up for 3 more laps here. Daniel is on 186 on his equalized heart rate. Luis is only at 168 on his equalized heart rate, and Casey's about 170. So they're lower, and Luis for having to come back after a drop chain to be at that heart rate. It's I know, just watching, I thought about wearing my heart rate monitor just to see if just to have it up there and then see if my heart was beating harder than any of these people that were racing, which could happen. This is some exciting stuff here. But everyone's still neck and neck. It's no one's really making too many moves or making too many power plays off the front, which I think Casey is probably excited about. He had talked about that before, hoping that no one had any hero plays off the front. And so it's kind of going to that liking. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left. I will say I learned earlier, based on some math calculations, that once they get to 5.9 kilometers, that's halfway. So just wanting everyone to know that. That's a gift from Frank Garcia earlier today, letting everyone know. Kayla where is Kayla? That's a good question, Crucial Bowl. I don't know. She's not in tonight, sadly. Maybe she'll make an appearance. I have no clue, but I haven't heard any word that she'll be here. But I think after last week, some difficulties there. I don't know, what's going on. I know she races on Thursdays for the Journey Cup. She has a team there, so she'll be on keyboard there. And then on Saturday, she's with Team Hive, so she'll be with the World Cup on Saturday. So she should be in both of those. Sad that she's not in here yet. Everyone is sad that she is not in the race here. But we do have good racers here. We have other exciting racers. So we have Luis, Daniel, and I just got word that Kayla is leading a class on Wednesday and Friday along with those races. So this may be a day of rest for her so she doesn't overexert herself with all of those events and classes going on. So there's your answer. She probably won't be in tonight, but a little over halfway in the race. That's true. We are under 5.9. But still the pack of 4 racers here are still all up on the front. It looks like everyone's just kind of getting in, trying to get on the draft. John's equalized heart rate has come down a lot here to 184. So everyone's still holding fairly strong, coming in on the end of this 3rd lap. Still 2 laps left after they cross the start finish line here. And no problem, Crucial Bowl. Hope you are having a great night. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. The next race, I don't know if you watched the earlier Omniums, but the next race is a fun one. There were a lot of wrecks earlier, but I'm sure that people were watching and there may not be as many, but I'm hoping we still get some. But Luis goes up off the front with John right on his tail there, getting that draft. Casey's in the outside lane there pushing. I think he just wants to get into the center there. We get one windier back from Luis, who gets up to speed pretty quick here. He wants to get up off the front, uses his power up. Yes, Dust Bowl crit. And then here you have Daniel using his to counter here and try to keep up. The group is separating a little bit, and I don't think Daniel wants to get dropped off. And he blocks himself a little bit there, trying to go around. But I think Luis up off the front. But I think this group may be able to get back to him here. It looks like they're putting down some power. Casey's putting down some power to try to get up, but the speed differential, Luis is still a little bit faster, still going up off the front, gaining more ground against them. But yes, Dust Bowl crit is the next race, with Razor's Edge as an ability. So the whole time everyone has Razor's Edge, and then the power-ups, I don't know if they're going to be fixed. I know there was an issue with the power-ups where they kept spawning in zone L, I believe. I don't know if it happened in zone K. I know it happened in zone L, but hopefully, I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see what goes down. And Daniel gets dropped off a little bit here, but I think he'll be able to come back up if he puts a little down. I don't know how he's feeling. His equalized heart rate's at 191. He looks focused. John is trying to catch back up. His equalized heart rate is all the way up to 198 right now. So, he's trying to put the power down, get into that draft again. He's like, I'm working hard, but I want you guys to work for me. So please let me get in this draft. And I very much appreciate that. Thank you. And they're all within us there now. He caught up, but Daniel is 3 seconds back right now. So that is, I don't know if he's going to try to make a move to try to get back up. I think he still has one wind at your back, the inertia, and great responsibility. But I think Casey might have all of his power-ups as well. And Casey, exactly. He's a one-man army. Never let your guard down. John pushes up off the front. His heart rate is high. I think Casey is just going to say, okay, if you want to push with that heart rate, I'll ride your wheel. I'll try to get into your draft. He's a little bit behind right now, but I think he can move into the draft. Just got to be careful not to slide over into that occupied lane. Luis tried to come back up. But Casey says, fine, I will use that. I will not work as hard, and I will relax a little bit while you do this. And Lancero Storms says, Casey, you will win this if you don't wreck. So looks like everyone is on your side. They think you can win. And now Casey's pushing up off the front, with Luis right behind. I think you're going to see this power being used. Trying to figure out what is in John Pyle's background closet. We might ask him after this race. We will see. But Luis is looking good. He looks like he's feeling good, even after having to put that effort in with the drop chain and everything. He still looks like he's pretty confident, pretty collected, and just pushing through. And could be an addict. I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like when we get back to it. But I still do believe Luis uses his wind at his back to try to speed up, with John matching there in third place. Casey hasn't used any of his power-ups just yet. And then Luis uses his inertia there to keep the speed at 53.5 kilometers per hour. And then you see Casey use his great responsibility, and John use his right after. And then Casey at 67 kilometers per hour uses his inertia to move up past into first place. Doesn't have to do much effort. Then a wind at your back to follow that up, to try to keep his speed. He's pushing. He is 5 seconds ahead, still with a very high speed differential with these wind at your back, 2 of them in a row, saving him for the perfect time. And just, he's waving goodbye. He had those loaded up. He saw everyone else use their power-ups and where they were at, and he was like, yep. I think he was confident in this. He's 12 seconds up now. Just has to finish out the race, and he's still at a higher speed differential, sitting at 51, where John, who's at 201 equalized heart rate, is at 46. So he's still gaining time. The other people are not catching up, and it would take a huge effort. And I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't even know. It might not even be physically possible unless Casey just completely stopped at the end. but I don't think he's going to do that for these other racers. So this will be the second win here for Casey in Zone T. I think he's had multiple. He's had a lot of wins today, but this will be the second one in Zone T, and almost a 20-second lead after that great use of power-ups. I think everyone should take notes on that, because it was very good use of power-ups. And John at 201 equalized heart rate is sitting in second place right now, ahead of Luis, still putting down about almost 1,000 equalized watts here. Just pushing himself to the limit here. And Casey gets that second win there. That's official, crosses the finish line, and made it look easy with that power-up combination. And here you have John, who passes, gets second place, so that moves him into second overall on the Omnium scoreboard. Luis crosses in third, and then Daniel in fourth. Daniel is third overall. Casey's first overall with 2 wins. That normally does it for you. Then John is second overall, Daniel in third, Luis, then Homer. And I think Homer's just a minute off the back here. He'll finish. I think he's just riding the bots here, just getting that workout in, keeping his heart rate at a good spot, feeling good about the day. And so that was a incredible win by Casey there. I think we'll talk to him again, just to see, if it was like I thought it was. He saw everyone else use their power-ups and saw how tired they all seemed to be, and got to ride a wheel for a little bit, and then just knew that on that climb he had all the tools necessary to get to a high speed and win, or if it just kind of happened that way. What was going through your mind there, Casey?
No matter what my opponents did, that is how I was going to play those power-ups. Seeing each and every one of them use power-ups before then just made me know that when I used them, I would have the lead if I executed properly. So, them using them earlier, and I was still able to hold on to wheels, just reassured me that I didn't need to be a hero. I just needed to wait and use the power-ups. Shout out to my buddy JP. He learned a lot in that race. He sat on wheels really well. He took turns at the front, probably more than I did. And, for being fresh to the platform, he worked really well there. It was good to see him pull off a podium.
Yeah, no, he definitely surprising with that second place. His heart rate was very high, but congrats again on this second win. You think you can go 4 for 4 twice tonight?
I don't know. I messed up on the what is it? The attack, the middle earlier. So I blew that one. I had it won and I blew it. It was a mental mistake. So yeah, I mean, this course here will be interesting. I think I wrecked 3 times in Zone L and still ended up third. I wrecked once in Zone K and ended up first. So if you wreck, you're not out on this one. This one is a whole new track with the Razor ability.
Yep, and with the win, you can't forget about that. So congrats again and good luck on these next 2. We'll see how you do. I think everyone thought you were going to win in that one to begin with. So you got a lot of people that are expecting you to do a lot of things here. So good luck. Let's go talk to John here. See how he's feeling. He was at equalized on his heart rate 202, around there. How was that effort? How are you feeling after that effort?
Not too great. That equalized heart rate, that's not a joke. That was like way over my threshold heart rate the whole time.
Well, I'm sure you're feeling that, but you pushed through the whole time, got a good workout in, got second place there. Now you're second place overall. This one is going to be a little bit more technical, not as much effort. So hopefully you can bring that heart rate down a bit. I think in the chat here, they were asking what was in the background behind you.
I have 2 arcade Dance Dance Revolution machines.
Well, I don't think that's what anyone was expecting, but Awesome. Thank you for letting us know. That's now that I think that chat will be satisfied. We have now satisfied their hunger. So thank you for that, and good luck in these next
Thank you.
2 races. Yep. So we have about 2 minutes before this next race starts. It's 4 laps on Dust Bowl Crit, medium skill, 2.5 time multiplier with 2 Path of Least Resistance power ups and 2 weightlifted power ups, and then also Razor's Edge as an ability. So it's always on, and it's going to make for, especially with the wind, make for a lot of wrecks in these corners, because these are some tight corner speeds. Without the power ups, people have to slow down for these corners. So I'm sure you're going to see some wrecks here tonight. But yes, Casey has experienced this multiple times, and he will know what to do. I think a lot of these racers that have been here know the corner speeds, but even knowing the corner speeds is not the full battle, because with these abilities and power ups and wind on course, you have to either hit the brakes hard sometimes, and just really have to pay attention to those speeds while still trying to maintain as much speed as possible, so that way people don't lose you in the group. But with this one, yeah, like Casey said, you're not out even after 1 wreck. I saw in the first Omnium this morning, I think there was 2 wrecks, and that person still got first place. So you are never really counted out on this one. So 1924, the power ups are fixed. Okay, that is good, because there was that issue, like I said earlier, where the power ups kept coming back. You're only supposed to have 2 of each power up, but they just kept getting them back, which everyone had, so no one was at an advantage or disadvantage. But it was not intended, but it made for some fun racing with a lot more power up usage. So it's probably a little easier for them. But we have about 10 seconds left here until this race starts. So everyone's going to spin up, try to get out to the front, and then not wreck in this first corner. That's the major key here, is to not wreck in this first corner. There's a lot of other tight corners, but Luis goes out on the front. Daniel behind, and Homer and Casey are battling for this 3rd position here, but it looks like Casey's winning that battle with Homer, and then John right behind here. Luis comes into this first corner going pretty fast. You see he hits the brakes a little bit. Ooh, just almost makes it. Oh, Daniel and John both go down, cook it a little too hard in the corner, fall over. But they're not out yet. There could still be more mistakes up on the front, and Homer goes down as well. So there's been already 3 wrecks here, but the top 2 people are the ones that haven't wrecked yet. That's not to say that they won't. I know Luis used to, when he first started, before he learned it, there were a lot of wrecks, but he's gotten a lot better with that. So I think he knows the corner speeds. He might take it a little easier, but we shall see. They're 10 seconds up the road from Homer and Daniel. They go into this little S turn. This is where wrecks can happen, but he slows down in time. So they're both playing it cautiously, trying to get their speeds right, pushing at the right times and slowing down. There's 4 laps of this, so it's after that last race where you get a little exhausted. And look at that, he gets right in the corner there and doesn't go down, gets right over. And Casey now is gonna, I think, try to grab this wheel as they're going uphill, but Luis is really pushing it, really getting up this hill, and he wants to make Casey work for it if he wants to get this. But he's still being cautious, getting around these corners, slowing down just in time. The Razor's Edge ability is crazy. That is a fact. And I know it was very helpful for me. I was very tired after that second race. Casey catches back up with Luis here. They're still 11, 12 seconds up off the 3rd place Daniel and Homer there, 3rd and 4th place, and then John's a little further back. Luis helps Casey a little bit there, slows him down there so he doesn't have to. But both these racers are really pushing it. Casey pushed it through that corner. These guys they are wanting this. They are both flying. This one's a slow corner, so you're going to see them slow up quite a bit, a little bit. And then Casey uses his Path of Least Resistance, which makes road resistance greatly reduced for 10 seconds. What you want to do on the straightaways, it can help you speed up. You don't get that resistance from the road, but you want to see that happen. And there's some power ups used. I think also, yep, in the same spots there, you see Daniel and Homer further on in the group using that same power up, the path of least resistance, because it's a straightaway. You don't want to do this on any corners because you already slide out a lot. And thank you, Crucial Bull, for saying I'm crushing it. I appreciate that a lot. If you're going to bed, good night. Wish you could stay and watch the rest of these races. There's only a little bit left, only like 20 minutes left. But Casey is out on the front. John crashes later on. I think further down, I think he used his path of least resistance going into a corner. I didn't get to see it happen, but I saw the path of least resistance and I saw a crash. So I can only assume that that's what happened. Casey going through this, gets through these corners. Luis is right behind, only a second off. So he's not out of this by any means. They're still on the second lap here. So there's over half the racing left. If I've done my math correctly, which I believe I have, it's 3.7 would be the halfway point. But since it's 4 races, that's just at the start finish line. And Luis uses his weight lifted going up this hill to try to gain some speed up and catch back up with Casey to make him sweat a little bit, maybe make him make a mistake. I know they neither of them want to make a mistake, and John goes down again further back. So he's over a minute behind now after these wrecks. Luis is Luis has to do some do some childcare here while he's racing. This is not a good race for that one because you have these corner speeds that are very precise, and these racers know what they need to do. Casey I think this is one of those where experience can really help. Casey has ridden this. This is his 3rd time riding it, so he might know these corner speeds and how the wind plays into it by heart by now. So he's making it look easy. I can tell you it's not easy, but he's making it look that way, which now he uses path of least resistance again, right on the straightaway in the same spot, and Luis comes back with his as well. So you have Luis trying to catch back up, but Casey is 2 seconds up off the front, and this is one where I think Luis is just going to try to stay strong, get as close as he can, try not to cook the corners too hard, and hope that maybe he can make Casey make a mistake. And Daniel goes down. Was in 3rd place and goes down further on behind, and Homer is now in 3rd, and Luis goes down in the corner, just pushing it a little too hard. But Homer is catching back up. Still 20 seconds separating 2nd and 3rd place, and now 10 seconds separating 1st and 2nd. So yes, Casey and Homer are both cyborgs. But Casey is putting on a show here, not making mistakes. I mean, this has been in every race so far. He's kind of imposed his will and raced his race. Now I think he feels not necessarily safe, but I think he feels like he's in a good spot to not push it just as hard. He still has a lot of his I think he still has his weight lifted, and now he uses it about to go on this hill. So he's going to push hard, use the weight lifted, get up this hill, try to gain even more time on the people behind. So he still has the 10-second lead on 2nd place, and then behind in 3rd, about 30 seconds behind Casey, is Homer. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are all on Saturday. They'll be on the same team, but today they are not. So I think they're all battling for these positions. Casey is running away with it right now. He's just showed his strength in every omnium, even the earlier ones with more people in it. He still showed that he's the one to beat. And even after 3, this is his 3rd omnium. Even after all that, it's nothing to him. But let's talk to I want to talk to Daniel if he's able to. I know his heart rate's equalized heart rate's at 184, but just want to see how he's feeling. I know. And I made him wreck. That's on me. But we'll wait. We'll let him get collected after that. Unless, are you saying you're okay to talk? Okay, let's talk to him. Let's see how he's feeling. Hey, sorry, I didn't mean to make you crash there. But you know,
Oh, no
how was
worries.
this race? Was it what you expected, or how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is pretty much how I expected this one to go. I overcooked it a
Yeah,
bit on the first corner. That kind of threw off my whole game plan. And then just too much pressure on myself, trying to catch up. Wrecked a few more times. You could tell it's an experienced course. The experienced guys are all in the front. So
yeah. Well, you just got to get that experience over time. Yeah, I know when I raced it this morning, I wrecked on the first few laps, but then you know you start to get used to the feel for it. But good luck on the rest. I know you are. If this race finishes the way it is, you're only 2.5 points back from a podium finish, so that's something that you can look forward to if you have it in you. But good luck on the rest. I'll let you get back to racing. Try to stay upright. I believe in you. And oh, Luis goes down in a corner here. He's still 20 seconds up from third place. So, you know, if he just relaxes and goes through, Casey looks like he's, you know, yeah, he's tired out, but he's 30 seconds up the front. So I think he can just think he can afford to take his little not full victory lap, but a victory little cruise. Calm it down. Oh, but there's some power ups being used behind. You might have to worry. No, okay. I couldn't get him. I couldn't get him to worry, but get his heart rate down for the next race because attack the middle. You need to have legs for the beginning to get up in the front there. But you see Casey moving through 200 meters left here for him, a little over 200 meters left. And between him and another first place finish. Calm Tempest, that is true. And I normally wouldn't do that, but because I don't know, I got interviewed a bunch by Jesper, and so I don't know. I think that's like what we have to do now, but I'm not sure. But we're doing it. If they're okay with it, we're just gonna do it. Get some more insight. And congrats, there it is. Officially, Casey wins. But what I like to equate it to is if you've ever seen, there's a YouTube series called Hot Ones, where people are eating hot wings and have to answer questions. So this is a similar thing, but they're just working out, and then we ask them questions and they have to answer that. But that is a good question. Mod KG, how is he doing this? Does he sleep next to his bike? We might go to him for a third interview. I'm sure he's been interviewed so many times, but I guess we have to ask him that question. So Casey, congrats on the third win of this Omnium. I don't know how many it is total on the night. I know it's a lot, but you know, yeah, lost count. But yeah, there was a question in chat that said, "Do you sleep next to your bike, or how are you doing this?" So I don't know if you could give us some insight into that.
Well, no, I don't sleep next to my bike, but I do spend a lot of time with him because I work from home and this is my home office as well. So we're together a lot. That one there was a lot down to racing it once already. I mean, Luis kind of had it figured out, but I think Luis needs one more shot at it, right? Like I had 2 shots at it earlier. I did it wreck free, but I was really close a couple times. My own chat was like, "Oh, you're making me nervous." That's when Luis went down that last lap, I'm like, no. I have got to stop pushing it because it's so hairy on some of those corners.
Yeah, that is fair. Are you trying, is this your chance at redemption for the 4-race sweep? Are you gonna push as hard as you can to get that honor, to get the full Omnium sweep, or what do you think? Do you think you have it in you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do the best I can because I actually can improve my points from earlier today. You know, anything I think above 4th or 5th place in this race for me improves my points. which is for the league and the standings. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it everything I got because those points could matter in the end. But I mean, a lot of this is getting out of the gate, and Daniel and Luis have beat me out of the gate, I think, every single race. So this is going to be a different race. I know what I need to do. It's just that if I can outperform them, I mean, it really just comes down to that. In a shorter race like this, it's going to be tough. I'm really fatigued.
Yeah, I bet I'm fatigued just watching all these races today. So I can only imagine how you feel. But good luck again. I know the chat wants to see a 4-race sweep, so maybe you can give it to us. But we'll see how your legs hold up. Tell your chat I said hello. But we have.
Will do.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, so 3 laps of attack the middle, which, as you can probably guess by the name, you want to get out in front and you want to be in the middle because all the other lanes are blocked for most of the course. So there's a lot of bottlenecks where there's only one lane to be in, and you want to be in that lane. You don't want to be stuck behind people, but power-ups can kind of help with that because you have one quantum shift that allows you to go through other riders, so you can get in front of them and you don't have to try to go around them or do any sketchy maneuvers to get around them. And then you also have one Razor's Edge. So we saw it as an ability, but now we see it as a power-up. Should be a lot of fun. This is again, 3 laps of this race, a high skill event, and a 2-time point multiplier. So the standings could shake up here because first place, I'm not sure. It might be in the bag depending on where he finishes, but Casey is up on Luis by 35 points right now. But between second, third, and fourth, there's only 9.5 points separating them. And then even 5th place is only down from 4th by 4 points. So this could get interesting to see how everything finishes up on the podium. There's this could be exciting. We might see some more wrecks here. I don't think we'll see as many as we did on the previous race, but there still could be some. There could be some blocking. You never know. But this is one that's very interesting. Everyone wants to get out in front as fast as they can, and it's a fun one to watch. I'm glad it's in the rotation now. I think we've raced it a lot since it came out because it is a highly technical, and it's a fun one at the end when everyone's dead, just to see who has the legs left to get up in the front and to push at the end and not let someone go through. I'm sure it will be. I know Zone L was a crazy finish on this race. You had Timothy came through, used his Timothy Ramont earlier today to win the entire Omnium. Came through right at the very end, right before the finish line, and used his quantum shift to go past 2 people and get first place and win the Omnium. So that was an insane finish. If you didn't see it, you should go back and watch it because that, although I gave a spoiler away, it's still worth watching because it was crazy to be a part of, crazy to see. I was at work and I was splitting between working, eating food, and watching the races. And then when I saw the points and heard the last lap was up, I was glued to my screen and I was like, okay, I can't stop watching this. And I was glad that I did because it was so close and the ending was phenomenal. So I'm hoping we get something else like that in this one. Maybe not for first place, but I'm hoping we get some crazy racing. There is. And here at the start gate, 5 seconds until it starts up. Everyone's spinning up because they want to get out in the front. That's the main goal. You want to be out in the front. You see John, Luis, Homer, and Daniel all looks like Casey is in 4th right now. So yeah, he didn't get out in the start that he wanted, but that doesn't mean he's out. He's not counted out fully. You know, someone could make a mistake here. You know, just got to make sure you don't get stuck behind someone that's going a little too slow. But looks like everyone makes him. Oh my gosh. Everybody crashes and Casey goes through and oh my, what? I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I think everyone just started sliding out and moving all over the place and trying to go do crazy stuff instead of just staying straight. And now Casey is 3 seconds on the front with no one in sight. Oh, well, that's that's not an ending exciting, but that's the beginning that's very exciting. We'll see if anyone can come back and give him a run for his money, but this looks like a good sign for his goal of getting that 4-race sweep and getting more points for the overall score this week. It's a very good day for Casey. A lot of I think it was last week, he was in the on the side and people were crashing into him. This time he just watched everyone else crash in front of him in a lot of races. So I don't know if that's luck or skill, just letting everyone else make the mistakes. But Casey's in the right place at the right time, and everyone else just cooks it too hard and crashes. But Homer is only still 3 seconds back here. He could come up, could make a push to get back, and yeah, Casey did hit them with a Jedi Mind Blast. So we might need to have the engineers look at this to see if there's any weird code in the game. If he did the what is that, Bruce Almighty or Evan Almighty, whichever one it is, where he's looking at the park, he's in traffic and he splits the cars so they go into parking spots. That's what Casey just did to all the other racers. He saw them and split them left and right into their parking spots, said, sit down here, and I'm just going to go through. So I don't know. There may be some shenanigans going on here, but that was just that was crazy. And he's 10 seconds off the front. I think even if his legs weren't feeling that good after going 10 seconds up off the front with I believe 1 lap left after he crosses the line here. But Homer's not giving up. Homer's pushing behind. Homer's like, you know what? I'm still gonna make you work for it. I'm still gonna go and I'm not gonna make it easy for you. If you want to win this race, you got to put down some effort too. And I'm gonna lay the smack down as well. Homer uses his Razor's Edge, which I didn't explain it earlier when it was an ability, but it makes you tall and thin as a razor for 10 seconds. So you can cut through the wind, you can build up a lot of speed, and you don't have to put as much effort down to get that speed. But Casey on this last lap here is still 11 seconds up with only 500 meters to go now. I don't think anyone's going to catch him, but if things in the way, Luis goes down, so things will get shaken up again. But with the way it looks now, with Casey coming in first, Daniel's trying to go past Luis here. Daniel says, I don't want to take this, but so that puts Daniel, that if Daniel stays in front of Luis here, Luis drops down to 4th place. And if they finish the way they do now, you have, although John goes down, so that could move Daniel up even further here, move him up in points as well. But here you see Casey. Look at that, easy 4 for 4, going to Wendy's, getting the fofo, and making the most of his money here, earning some cash today. Homer coming in second, but on the overall scoreboard, if they finish the way they do, you have Casey number 1, Homer gets second overall, John will get third, and then Luis in 4th with Daniel in 5th. So you have Casey and Homer, who Casey's on his 3rd Omnium and Homer's on his 4th, and just showing everyone that, hey, we definitely are robots. So there's no doubt now that they are not human and they are all machine, no part man, all machine. We have to go to Casey for another interview. He's been interviewed all night. The paparazzi's been following around all night, but he's kind of brought it on himself. What I want to know, I want to see if you could take me through what you saw with what happened at the beginning of that race. I know what I saw, but I want to know through your eyes, what were you feeling and what were you thinking as that happened?
I had about 15 seconds of, oh no, I'm done, because I'm stuck behind Daniel. Luis is on the front. If I'm Daniel, I'm slamming on the brakes and holding me up. And Daniel didn't. Kudos to him. And then somebody must have posted on the Cognition bulletin board that first corner was 47 mile an hour, or kph. And it's not, guys. It's 42. And they all barreled in there and just piled it up. I looked down and I was like, oh no, we're going way too fast. And I slammed on the brakes. And everybody in front of me just piled into it. So, that was just pure luck, honestly. I mean, I thought I was done for off the sprint because, like I said, they had position. And it would have been fair game. I know it's not team play or whatever, but Daniel had the spot. All Daniel has to do is soft pedal there, and that's fair game. That's racing. And yeah, I mean, it was going to be a fun battle. There's places to pass. This is a great racetrack. I don't think it's great when you got like 15, 20 people. A small group like this can really race on this if we get side by side and play a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I would have liked to battle there, but too bad for them in that first corner. It would have been fun to battle.
Yeah, it would have been. I think the thing that made it look crazier to me was that 2 people wrecked going in the corner, like off to the side from sliding out, and then 1 person wrecked because they went to the right and like I don't know, like they were trying to change lanes in the turn to the right, so it wasn't just everyone sliding out that way. It was so bizarre to watch, but it was definitely entertaining.
I think Daniel panicked. I think Daniel was panicking and grabbed every button he could, and he changed lanes instead of brake. But they were far enough ahead of us that I think Daniel panicked, I think is what that third one was. And Homer, I thought Homer was going to reel me in there that first lap. I was like, oh, come on, Homer. Just drink some Mountain Dew and let me go.
Well, you got your wish a little bit. Congrats again on that. Four races, 4 wins. Almost did it earlier today, but came back and made up for it. Got a lot of points. Got as many points as you could. So that'll be good for your standings going into the finale in, what is it, 6 weeks now? So congrats, and we'll see if you can keep this up in the coming weeks as well.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yep, no problem. But yeah, so we're seeing some highlights. One thing I do want to say is I think we see a lot of changing lanes. People don't want to get into the draft here, but yeah, Sunshower, I saw you in there. I know you only did 1 race, but still awesome to have you in for 1 race. I mean, 1 race is better than none. I mean, I sometimes can't even finish 1 race, so props to you. Get in there, try to come in more. It's nice to have you in here. Nice having more racers in here. Thank you for subscribing. I saw you did that earlier. So thank you again for that. But the crashes do hurt. One thing, I think Daniel really took to heart this solo racing, even though he does have alliances and teams in the Team World Cup. He pushed at the end to try to get this. And I think if he would have let Luis be in front of him, finish in front of him, Luis would have gotten the podium finish. But they did have, a teammate, even though everyone's solo, everyone's for themselves, but they can still kind of be, happy that, hey, like, someone on our team working on their own was strong enough to get through there. And I think every one of the people on this in the races today is strong enough to win an Omnium, strong enough to win a bunch of races. Casey's just having a really good day, and Homer was having a consistent night. Homer didn't well, no one won any races but Casey, but Homer wasn't crazy ahead on any of them. He just finished consistently in, the top 3 and got second place because everyone else is a little more inconsistent. Luis had Case Miller, second question, slam a water bottle against, sorry, Luis, just learn from it. You got this. Coming up, there's still a lot of racing left. Yeah, and this last one, we got to see this again because this was an amazing. I don't know what's going on here. I'm getting some weird. Wait, okay, sorry, that was weird. But you gotta see this again because this was an amazing. I can't believe this happened. It just everyone's wrecking. It just looked like he just said, "Hey, can you all wreck me?" I was all right. Sorry, it got lost here. It started to get some. All right, that was weird. But we are back from that. We are figuring it out. We're not getting lost in the sauce there. But that was an incredible night of racing. We have, again, this was the Solo Cup, $10,000 on the line. So everyone here is racing for money. think Casey just took home $60. I don't know if it's every single one that you win, you get 60. So he probably took more home from the earlier ones as well, if that's the case. But every Tuesday is a solo cup racing. And then yeah, green. That's why I got $15 this morning. And so, I'm going to get those Chick-fil-A nuggets. That's what Jesper and I talked about. But Jesper should be in this next time. If he's not, we will riot in the streets because I want to talk to him at 200 heart rate, 200 equalized heart rate. But Journey Cup Thursday is when we return next. I believe it's only Zone K that will be streamed. The chat could, hopefully Mod PG can help me with that. That one slips my memory a bit, but I believe it's Zone K that's streamed officially for the Journey Cup on Thursday, which is 10 a.m. PST. And then the World Cup Racing Saturday, which is the team event, that is going to be, I believe that's Zone E, K, and L. Although I think L, no, it's just K. Sorry, that's on me. It is Zone K, and then L, you can come in and race on keyboard or on controller, and there's crossplay enabled. So everyone can get in on that. And I believe it will be streamed as well. So you can have your name called out if you're excited, if you want to be a part of all of this going on. It's a lot of fun. The World Cup Racing Zone K on Saturday. Team event, $15,000 on the line. Journey Cup Thursday, Zone K is $5,000 on the line. And the Journey Cup is one physical rider, one keyboard rider. But yeah, this has been a good day of racing. These are some incredible maps, incredible racing, tracks that caused some issues. It was a really good mix. I think they did a good job of organizing this one, and I was glad to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of the streams. But I have been up since 3 a.m. this morning. It is now 8 p.m. for me, and I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, and I have a lot of food in my belly, so I'm going to go probably pass out, but it was a lot of fun. Hopefully the soothing sounds of my voice, you enjoyed it, and everyone has a great night. But this was the CVR World Cup Zone T, or CVRcade Solo Cup Zone T. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the racers. Hope everyone has a good night. Yeah.
But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.